Hey there, good afternoon. Welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock, hard rock, heavy metal, and other forms of rock music. So, I want to welcome you to my strange fascination. Yes, I've got some strange fascinations with some of the rock musicians. Things about them I like that don't necessarily correlate to their music. So today, we're talking about Randy Bachman, BTO, also of the Guess Who, also of Bachman and Turner, also of solo career. So he did lots of stuff. Great musician, kind of a bluesy guitar player, I think, but he has his heavy element on his guitar as well. And much of BTO's riffing is his inspiration, and he is the master at putting together some good sounds with that band anyways. And he did similar stuff with the Guess Who, but not as hard rock, more I'd say it's more poppy or bluesy, Guess Who, than BTO was. But Randy Bachman is the guy that kind of introduced me to rock and roll, because prior to that I had listened to country western pretty much because that's what my parents had, and some 50s music, some of it going all the way from Patsy Cline and Kate Starr all the way to the Everly Brothers and Bill Haley and the Comets, which is rock, but it's not the kind of rock that I eventually became into. So BTO, I had a song from them called Quick Change Artist, and that was the song that kind of launched my interest in rock and roll music, that particular song. And then, of course, Hey You and You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet came fairly quickly on its heels. So at some point, BTO was my favorite band. Probably late 74, maybe through to mid to late 1975 before Kiss took over the reins. But during that period of time, Randy Bachman was the guy. I loved his guitar style. I loved his riffing. I loved his beard. yeah, I had one for quite a bit of time here too. But I'm not ready to be an old man yet, so I got rid of it. So anyways, we're here to talk about Randy Bachman. So BTO put out, I think, 4, 5, maybe 6 albums with him before he left the band. Of those 4 or 5, the first one was pretty good and the second one was pretty good, but the next two, Four Wheel Drive and Not Fragile, they were really good albums. And then you have Freeway, and there's one or more that comes after that were pretty good albums as well. So those albums Randy Bachman had a big influence on, and he also had quite a bit of influence on the Guess Who when he was with them as well. Later he came back and they tried to take the BTO name, but it was already, they lost that battle in court. He also coincidentally lost the battle for the name for the Guess Who in court too, so hence him and Burton Cummings, when they did their kind of reunion tour, they couldn't use the Guess Who name. So he's the only guy that's belonged to 2 legendary bands that he has no control over either of them. I feel somewhat bad for the guy, but I identify with it. I like his western style of music quite a bit, and he kind of I guess, even though some of the other western bands like Chilliwack and Prism and Stampeders and Steppenwolf were all good western Canadian bands, I wasn't into them as much as Randy Bachman, but because of him I was more willing to give those bands a chance, which is, so he kept them in the limelight as well, not just himself. So, he's still rocking here. I'm not sure how old he is now, but he's got to be in his late 70s. And he still has that riffing. And there's never been a time in my history that, since I started listening to rock music, that I haven't liked BTO. There's been no time in that period of time. So that goes back to 74. That's the longest running streak of any band that I have. And I still like them. I still listen to them. Never changed. I've never ebbed on them or tied. I've never worn out on them. I still like their songs. I still play their stuff. I don't play it as much because there's a lot more stuff to listen to. But there's never been a time where I've said, nah, I'm tired of them. I don't want to hear them no more. That hasn't been the same with some of these other rock bands. But with them, definitely hasn't changed. And a lot of that has to do with Randy Bachman, because most of this stuff was written by him. A lot of it was sung by him. And I just think that he's a pretty good rockin' musician. And yeah, so there you go. Randy Bachman, Bachman Turner Overdrive, the Guess Who, Bachman and Turner, Bachman and Cummings. Yeah, he's done a lot. I hope you like this episode, and please subscribe. It's much appreciated. And we'll be back tomorrow on My Strange Fantasies with another rock star to finish out the week. Bye.